Hello everyone, the story I'm going to share today is Zhao Sheng's cultivation in seeking Taoism. Zhao Sheng from the Eastern Han Dynasty had been longing for practicing Taoism in order to become immortal. To have Zhang Daoling as his master, Zhao Sheng traveled far away to the western land of Shu State. As usual, to test the sincerity of a disciple, Zhang designed various tests for Zhao Sheng. After going through many hardships, Zhao Sheng finally arrived at the city where Zhang lived and walked to the door of Zhang's house. He explained to the doorman his purpose and begged him to inform Immortal Zhang. To his surprise, however, the doorman not only refused to report, but also yelled at him. Zhao Sheng's determination in seeking Taoism was very firm, and he was not angry at all. He was determined to meet Immortal Zhang and plead him to be accepted as his disciple. So he just made the decision to sleep outside the house and wait for a chance, although the weather was very cold. He spent day and night outside Zhang's place for more than 40 days. And the doorman kept cursing him for more than 40 days. At last, Zhao Sheng had a chance to meet Immortal Zhang. Luckily, he was allowed to stay, and the next he was asked to watch the crops in the fields, to chase away wild animals. Without any hesitation, as a disciple, he happily left to take on the task. The cold wind whizzing in the wilderness at night, and the bees howling around made people shudder. Zhao Sheng tried his best to fulfill his duties, so that no grain was lost. One day at dusk, just as he was chasing away a flock of birds and animals, an unusually beautiful young woman suddenly came along the road and told him, "I'm on the way to another city, which is still very far from here. It is getting dark. Could I spend the night in your house?" Zhao Sheng thought, "I am a cultivator. I must help other people with their needs." So he let woman stay in his small thatched cottage, while he sat alone in the fields until dawn. Another time, his master asked Zhao Sheng to go up the mountain to cut firewood. As soon as he was on the road, he saw more than 30 pots of gold ingots on the side of the road, but he walked past them as if he hadn't seen them. When he reached the mountain path, 3 tigers rushed towards him with their bloody mouths wide open, as if they wanted to swallow him in one gulp. At this critical moment, he was not afraid, and he thought, "I'm a disciple of Immortal Zhang. With the protection of my master, I will not be in danger." Sure enough, one tiger tore his clothes and licked his face, but didn't bite him. After a while, seeing that Zhao Sheng showed no signs of fear, the tiger walked away with his head down. One day, his master asked Zhao Sheng to go to the market to buy cloth. After he had paid the money, he was about to take the cloth on his way back, but the seller stopped him and said that he hadn't paid the money, and even yelled loudly towards the crowd. Zhao Sheng didn't argue with him and took off his clothes without hesitation to pay for the cloth. At this time, the seller embarrassedly admitted that it was his mistake. One time, when Zhao Sheng was looking after the crowd, there was an old man coming far away. His clothes were worn out, his face was covered with dirt, and abscesses all over his body emitted a dreadful smell. He begged for food from Zhao Sheng. Zhao Sheng immediately took off his own clothes for the beggar and gave him his own food, and also gave him his own greens when the beggar left. The old man was very grateful. Immortal Zhang had 201 disciples, and there was a final test before they would become immortals. Immortal Zhang led all his disciples to climb a platform of Humian Mountain. There he said to all his disciples while pointing to a peach tree in the cliff, "Whoever can pick the peaches, I will pass on the secrets of Taoism to him." This tree grew halfway down the cliff, facing white clouds at the top and deep valley below. All the disciples bent over to look down. They were sweating from fright, and all backed away, saying in unison, "I cannot get them." At this time, only Zhao Sheng thought to himself, "Since my master asks us to pick them, there must be a reason for them to be picked. What's more, there is a holy master here, and his disciples will never fall to death in a valley. As a cultivator, I must have faith in my master in the first place." So he jumped toward the peach tree, and sure enough, he just landed on the tree. Everyone was in cold sweat because of him. He picked the peaches and threw them to his master one by one. He picked 202 peaches. Each disciple got one, while one was for his master and one for himself. At the time when he was about to climb up, his master reached out his hands and got ready to pull him up. The disciples thought, "How can master's hands reach that far?" Then in the blink of an eye, their master's arm lengthened by more than 30 feet, and Zhao Sheng was put up at once. After everyone had eaten the peaches, Immortal Zhang said to everyone, "Zhao Sheng has righteous thoughts, so he was able to jump to the tree. Now I, the master, will also jump to the tree, just to see if I can pick the big peach. If I can get it, of course it's a good thing, but if I fail, I'm not qualified to be a master." While everyone advised the master not to jump, Zhao Sheng didn't say anything. The master didn't listen to them and jumped toward the peach tree like Zhao Sheng did. But instead of falling onto the tree, he fell into a deep valley. Everyone was shocked and their faces turned pale. For quite a while, there was no response, and everyone thought that the master had died. Then they all wept bitterly. Zhao Sheng was also very sad, thinking, "If my master indeed didn't make it through this danger, how can I, a disciple, live alone in the world?" But then he also thought, "Master is an immortal. No matter how deep the valley is, there is a bottom. So what is it for a Taoist? I will follow my master, no matter what happened to him." Then he closed his eyes and jumped into the valley. Not knowing how much time had passed, and without falling at all, Zhao Sheng landed on the ground, just in front of his master. His master looked at him with a smile, as if he had been waiting for him. There was a bed and tent on the ground. Immortal Zhang said, "I knew you were coming." So he gave Zhao Sheng lectures about the secrets of Taoism for 3 days. Then both of them went back to their previous residence, where they met other disciples. Everyone was shocked. One day, Immortal Zhang and Zhao Sheng slowly ascended to heaven. All the disciples looked up at them for a long time, until they had disappeared in the sky. Thank you very much for listening to the story. More touching stories will be ready for you if you just subscribe it.